Yeah, I'm Rich Antonelli. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be reviewing and trying out the Glarry GST-E Rosewood Fingerboard electric guitar. They were kind enough to send me this guitar to try out. I'm not affiliated with Glarry. I appreciate them sending this out. This is pretty much a $65 guitar, $65 shipped. They offer free shipping, and they have a bunch of other products. If you want to check them out, you'll see the link in the description to this guitar itself. First thing off the top of my head, it's a very light. I'm pretty sure this is a basswood body, but it's really light. I want to say, it feels like it might be like even 5 pounds, if that. A lot of plastic parts. Now, with a $65 guitar, obviously this isn't you're not going to be taking this out on a world tour, but for $65 on first glance, and I haven't done anything. I'll get to, actually I did do something to this, and I'll get to that in a bit, but I wanted to take this out of the shipping box and just review it right from there. I saw the plastic is still on the pick guard. The knobs move pretty freely on this. The 5-channel or the 5-switch selector here moves pretty freely. Nothing really gets stuck. You got 2-tone knobs. It's basically a Strat copy. The neck, I kind of like the neck because there's no gloss on it, and you can move freely on it. The frets on it they're a little bit sharp here and there, but for $65, they're really not too bad. And when I first took it out of the box, the neck looks pretty straight as far as I can tell. The nut could use a little work. One of the things I did do was I took a pencil and kind of went through the grooves on it just to kind of lube it up a little bit so they can move a little bit more freely. Now we're gonna get to what it sounds like as far as the pickups. Again, it's not the highest of quality as you can imagine for a $65 guitar, but I will say it's a nice looking guitar for $65. My main issue that I had with this guitar after I took it out and let it settle for a little bit was keeping this guitar in tune. And I know I've seen other videos and reviews on these guitars from Glarry. Some of them were positive, some of them were really negative. And it seems like one out of every, 4 or 5 guitars you come across a really, a good one. This one, the only thing I did with it was I tried to, the intonation was way off. The action was like crazy, and it's still, and I did a little adjusting to it. I didn't want to do too much because I wanted this to be straight out of the box, just delivered, what it's like straight out of the box. I couldn't do that because it just would not stay in tune. And the action down, the 1, 2, 3, the first 5 or so frets was really good. But once you started getting up the neck, the strings were like this. And to play any kind of like a lead on here you really had to press down on these strings to get them to do anything. And there was like no sustain. So I adjusted it a little bit, and I found that when I was trying to get the action closer and even across the neck, that's when the buzzing started. So I had to back that back off. It's not bad. Right now, it's not where I would like it. I'm sure if I mess with this more, I could probably get it to where it's, it'll be really playable and stay in tune. But again, I wanted to go with something right out of the box. The tuning pegs are cheap. Like if this was a guitar that I was going to try to play at a gig, like a small gig, I probably wouldn't take it on the road, obviously being a $65 guitar, but I would put some, something else on here, some locking tuners or something like that to try. And even with the bridge is just, I haven't even opened this guitar to see what's behind this plate. This is just like first impressions right off the cuff. None of this is rehearsed, and I'm telling you right now. The other thing is, if you can see where you plug your cable in, it kind of sits up like this. I know on my other Strats that are on the wall over there, this is more kind of going in where it doesn't really stick up. So I'd be a little concerned about hitting that on something. So far, so good. Tremolo arm kind of sits up kind of high. I haven't really tried it yet. So when I get to playing, we're going to go through all this stuff. Now, it's got 3 single coils. The website, there's not really a description of the pickups. I can say that before I started filming, you know, I played a little bit and tried to keep it, and I'm gonna preface this by saying that the guitar is going to go out of tune. You're gonna hear that. I'm doing my best to keep this thing in tune, but it's not cooperating. But the pickups are really, I wanna say they're really low output pickups. There's not much volume to them. And I'm sure by raising them closer to the strings or getting the action right, it's gonna help that a little bit. Again, if I was going to use this at a small gig, these pickups would probably be coming out. I can live with the tone and the volume controls. They seem good enough for me anyway, personally, as far in the selector too. So again, I like that it's light. That's one thing I like, because if you're playing a 2-3 hour gig like I do, you know, I don't really like heavy guitars. One of the main reasons I don't own a Les Paul, which I do want to own a Les Paul again at some point, but just the weight of those guitars, where I just have bad shoulders, and it just, after 2 hours of holding that on, the weight is just too much. But this is like, you know, I'm throwing this up and down, and it's like a feather. And also, again, I like this style neck. It's not too wide, it's not too thick. It's similar to a couple of my Strats that I have hanging on the wall over there. And it seems like it's easy to, you know, get up and down on. So let's play a little bit. I'm gonna go through, we'll start with the bridge pickup. I'm using my Kemper. Power head is going direct into Logic. I have my Kemper remote on the floor here, so if you see me looking down, you know, switching stuff, I'm just changing the profiles on that. I'm using my own Marshall DSL 100 profiles that I use live. We'll start with the clean. Again, this might be out of tune right away. You can hear it wavering. And if I put any kind of pressure, I'm a heavy player, meaning when my fingers touch the frets and the strings, you know, I'm pressing down the strings, I'm like really, I put a lot of pressure. I probably shouldn't, but that's the way I've always played. I'm self-taught. I don't have a light touch. So that, in conjunction with the guitar not staying in tune too well, is really putting it out of tune. So I'm gonna stay on the bridge pickup, and I'm just gonna go across my Kemper Performance. And I can't really, because of the height of the action on this thing, I can't do too much as far as lead on it, because it's just, you can hear a little bit buzzing. I'm not sure if that's coming through on the video. The hardest, let me tell you, the hardest string, the low E string, was the most difficult string on this guitar. Usually it's the G string that I have trouble with on guitars. But on this guitar, for whatever reason, the low E string is the one that's giving me the most trouble, where I'll tune all the strings, you know, and on the tuner, they'll show up perfectly. I go strum a chord, the low E string is way out. I go back and check it, and it's in tune. So the intonation is still not right on this thing. Definitely gonna need a lot of work. So I'm gonna move over to another profile. So that's kind of my AC/DC style rhythm, where if I was playing one of my other guitars, it'd be louder, and also there'd be a lot more grit to it. So like I said, the output on these pickups is really low. And again, I did not want to alter them anyway. I wanted you to see and hear what you get right out of the box. So let me add a little more gain, which is my heavy rhythm. it's very strange because if I just hit the chord, kind of sounds like it's in tune, but if I'm playing and I'm moving around and I hit that same chord, which I just did, you know, before I stopped playing, it sounds like it's out. The other thing that I should say, it's got a weird, this is hard to explain. It's got a weird, like when I hit a chord like that, it's fine. But if I hit a chord and then hit like one or two right after it, like I can hear, it sounds like it stays in tune. I'm hearing the guitar, you know, acoustically here, and it sounds like it's out of tune. So I haven't figured out what's going on with that yet, and I haven't really put much thought into it, but it's one thing, another thing I did notice. All right, so let's go, let me boost up for one of my lead patches or profiles. For a $65 guitar that's not intonated right, not set up right, the action's too high, a lot of plastic pieces on here, you know, being honest, it's not that bad. Is it something I would buy normally? Probably not, because I don't really have a use for this. Now I'm on my heavy rhythm profile, and normally I can get pinch harmonics up the wazoo, but with this, it's there, but it's not, you know, the screaming. And again, that's, you know, that's due to having single coils, and they're probably way too far away from the strings. I don't know if you can see that on there, but I'm betting that if you raise those up a little bit, you'll get a little more bite out of this thing. All right, so now I'm going to move the pickups. I'm going to do a combination of the bridge and the middle. See, it sounds like it's in tune, but it feels like it's not in tune, which is... And now the bottom tone knob should affect those two pickups. Let me try it. Yeah, it just takes out the high end or the treble on it. Not going to spend too much time on these pickups. For a $65 guitar, it is what it is. You get what you get. It's up to you whether or not you want to. And I'm going to go over that once I'm done going through these pickups. So now we'll go to the middle position. And that sounds like it's out of tune again. I'm going to go all the way up to the neck pickup. Let me try something. I do this in a lot of my videos. I'll put the looper on the Kemper. I keep hitting this mic. I put the looper on the Kemper, and I will try looping. I usually do like a Hall & Oates thing where I'll loop a little bit of one of their songs, and I'll try to play over it with a different profile. So let's see if I can get the timing right on this. All right, let's hear that. So now I'm going to go to something that has some gain. And again, I'm still on the neck position. So let's go back to the looper. and I'll try it. Let's see how this comes out. I mean, that to me does not sound really bad at all. $65 guitar or not, that actually sounds pretty good. It's the heavier type tones that I'm having trouble getting out of this, and I know with these type pickups, it's not really meant for that. So let's just get right down to the nitty gritty here. Glarry guitars, Glarry music, and again, everything will be in the description, the link to this guitar, and anything else. You'll get to their website, you'll be able to see whatever else they sell. They have all different styles. They have acoustics, they have ukuleles, they have different colors, different pickup configurations. This is the one they sent me, and again, I appreciate it. First of all, it's not a touring guitar. I don't think you're gonna get lucky and say, ooh, if I change this out and I change this out and I change that out, you might as well just buy a different guitar. Is this for the weekend musician where you're just playing a pub? It really depends on what you're looking to do and what you want to spend on the guitar. I'm not really super picky when it comes to this stuff. I could probably live with the tuners if the guitar, if the intonation's right and everything stays in tune. I can live with those tuners. I could live with the bridge. The pickups, I'd have to see again as moving in the height on them and all that. But the tone knobs and everything else is fine. The sound of the guitar, from what I'm hearing in the room here, it's nice. It's not a Joe Bonamassa, but it's doable. I mean, you could get away with doing, lights like the Hall & Oates I just played. You can get away with doing stuff like that with it. Beginners. Would I recommend this to a beginner? I would have to say yes, but. Yes, I would, but it's gonna need work, like I've been saying. And it really depends on your budget too. Like, if you have a son or a daughter that wants to play guitar, but you're not sure they're gonna stick with it, and you don't wanna spend a ton of money right off the bat, this might be a good option for you. If they do decide to stick with it, you can, as they're going along, you can make gradual changes to the guitar where it's not a big hit to your wallet all at once. So for a beginner, yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, I may donate this. There's a music store right down the road from me that gives lessons. Maybe I'll donate it to them. Maybe I'll keep it here. My nieces and nephews and all little kids come over and they're always coming in the studio. I want to play your guitar. I want to play this. I want to play that. Well, here's a guitar for you to play, so I don't have to get worried that they're playing one of my my Eddie Van Halen 1991 Music Man. I don't want them touching that. This is a guitar where they come over, they play it, they break something. Keep all that in the back of your mind when you're looking at these guitars. And again, I've seen other YouTube videos where some of the guys were really happy. It's the same thing with like a Fender Squier. Like, that would be the other guitar where I'd say for a beginner to go just find a Squier for like $150 if you can swing it. Even then, I've seen some Squiers that are just not even up to this standard. All in all, $65. Is it worth it? For $65, I think it is worth it. For anything over $65, I think they have the price point where it needs to be on this guitar, on these guitars. Again, I want to say thank you to Glarry for sending this to me, and I hope this was helpful. It's a cool looking guitar. I actually like the tribal, like the paint job on this is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a sharp looking guitar. You could tell that, just anybody that plays can tell it's a cheap guitar, but to the naked eye, it's a sharp looking guitar. It looks pretty cool. It's a $65 guitar. You're gonna get $65 worth of stuff. Actually, the stuff in here is probably worth a little more than $65, so I'm not sure how they're doing this. If you wanna take a chance on it, you got a son or daughter, like I said, and I hope it works out for you. If you have any questions, comments, just leave them in the, down below. Hit like, or don't like it, whatever. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Subscribe to the channel because I have more stuff coming. Maybe I'll do another Glarry guitar, if they happen to send me another one or one of their other products. I thank you for watching, and Happy New Year and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Take care.